Hello and welcome to Our Watches. This is Squid Game episode 5. Last episode I really enjoyed. The ending there was just great. It left off on a cliffhanger, but it's pretty obvious that our team is going to win, proving that you can use technique to overcome the kind of raw strength that's needed. But of course all of these other teams have seen their technique now, so are going to try and copy it, I presume. And I really want to know how this tournament actually works in terms of the tug of war tournament. Like, is Duxu's team gonna go up against our team? I don't think so. I think it's probably just everyone does one game, because if that was the case, if there was just one team as a winner, there would only be 10 people left in the game for the rest of the show, and I don't think it would be that case yet. And of course we'd see that the dorm room is no longer safe. There's fighting breaking out. I'm assuming there's going to be fighting breaking out every night now. You know, trying to take out people in their sleep, trying to take out the best competitors, right? Like, if it was me in there, I'd probably try and take out Duxu if I had the confidence, because he is such a threat at the moment. And it does make me nervous that no characters that are kind of named characters have died yet, so we're just building up to an eventual death that's going to be a big death. I feel like Duxu might be the first to go out, or he'll kill someone that we're close to just to make the revenge on him. You know, he's already set up as quite a villain, but that would make the revenge on him finally dying even more satisfying, I guess. And then there's this plot point with contestant 111 where he's like just dissecting some bodies. That's really interesting to find out a bit more there. And of course Jun-ho, who's the police officer who has infiltrated, he is now going to see that and be a part of this. So that's real interesting, this stuff happening outside of the game as well. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access where you can get episode 6 right now. You can also find a full-length version where you can just watch along with me in case there's anything that I cut out. And you can find polls so you can vote for what's next. So let's just jump right in. They'll pull over. Oh, Jihan's right over the edge. They all need to pull back real quick before they can get back up. Yeah, they're all slipping. One of them's lost their shoe. And they've got the technique all in rhythm, one side, all on alternating sides, you know? Ah, but this is, he has to look them in the face as he kills them, essentially. Yeah, they still need to hold on for a sec until the guillotine comes down. Imagine the relief though, yeah. Fair world. Is that just a bit of irony because the games aren't exactly fair and the world isn't exactly fair? Yeah, bruises all over their hands. There's not many contestants left now, are there?
지금 살아서 혀를 놀리고 있는 건 저 할아버지랑
It's the strategizing that's kept them alive.
우리는 그들의 희생과 피로 또 하루를 살아남았다. 죄 많은 우리 모두를 대신하여.
Yeah.
지 손으로 죽여놓고.
Yeah, he must feel guilt over killing them. I don't know what the other team's gonna say.
그 오줌 질질 싸는 그 대머리 아저씨. 그 다음부터 뒤에 있는 애 새끼들도 막 질질다.
Oh, they don't even know they didn't get to watch. That's a great reveal. Yeah, the looks on their faces. So yeah, they won their game, so they're not competing in it again. Yeah, so they have... It's very elaborate what they're doing here. I was thinking the fire isn't on. It looked like the fire was already on for some. I thought they'd put it in when the fire was already on, but they've got this secret floor that they're dropping the bodies into. How long have they been going at this operation then? You don't just make that overnight, do you? Secret compartment, hidden room. It's a pretty big underground operation.
오빠, 다 아주머니 아니야.
당신만 버렸어요. 체격 좋은 놈들만 뽑고.
그것도 게임 직전에.
Yeah, he's piecing it together that they knew what it was. But something we also knew what another one was.
모두 취침 준비를 해주시기 바랍니다.
Oh, bedtime's coming up. Yeah, it's dangerous.
약한 쪽을 골라서 우리가 먼저 칩시다.
Take out another team. Or take out the strongest, not the weakest.
난 당신들 못 믿는데.
They need to go in shifts, keep watch.
바리케이트를 칩시다. 엄폐물이 있으면 의지가 될 거야.
Yeah, so they're all building little forts.
뭐 이딴 거 쌓는다고 괜찮겠어? 바람이 숭숭 셀 것 같은데.
내 팀이라는 저 쓰레기 같은 인간들을 정말 믿는 거야?
Yeah, he's got a target on his back. Oh, look at that. He's got right in his head there. That was great. Turn them against each other.
기회 봐서 너부터 죽일 거야. 네가 제일 센 놈이니까.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great move. Is he gonna kill all of his teammates now or something?
어디부터 조질까요? 응? 오늘은 좀 쉬자.
Or is that gonna stop any fighting from breaking out at all?
니들도 그거 내려놓고 그냥 쉬어.
Yeah, they're all get a good night rest. Might actually give them more of an advantage.
의사 선생 어디 갔어?
좀 전에 화장실 간다고.
He definitely knows the doc is up to something because he knew what the next game was as well.
나 지금 안 졸려요.
그럼 다음엔 내가 할게.
So there's 10 on their team here. How long is their like allotted sleep time? Like 8 hours? How will they split it up?
일꾼들은 지금 즉시 숙소로
We see someone lagging behind back there.
오늘 사장님 덕분에 살았습니다. 감사하고 싶었습니다.
And he's just too kind, he's too pure-hearted. Yeah, split it in half. Even gave Ellie the bigger half, it looked like.
여긴 어떻게 왔어?
한국에 돈 벌러 왔습니다.
이 게임.
돈이 없어서.
Yeah, that's why everyone's here. They need the money.
파키스탄에 엄마, 아빠, 동생들 있습니다.
몇 살인데?
1살 아들입니다.
Just a year old.
형은 왜 왔습니까? 여기.
His isn't as noble.
돈 벌러.
He's just saying for money. But the reason he needs his money is because of his mistakes. It's just like a maze, isn't it? All of these doors.
어제 어떻게 된 거야? 왜 안 왔어?
He could have just said, you know, there was too many eyes on me. So this is 28, who is the guy who was in the room next to him, right? So it means he can't go undercover as the square face one, the more higher up one, as much, because he'll get caught out here.
이 안에서 우리 같은 잠수를 구하는 게 쉬운 줄 알아? 오늘 배달은 실수하지 마.
So they're talking about deliveries. So are they just harvesting the body parts to sell them like on the black market? Like you can get quite a lot of money from kidneys and whatever.
그래서 죽지 않게 게임도 알려주고 먹을 것도 따로 챙겨주잖아.
Oh, they give him extra food as well. You're just waking him up for the next round.
교대하려고.
Build up a bit of tension there by making it look like he was going to strangle him.
이상하게 잠이 안 오네. 제가 잘 지키고 있습니다. 정말.
Yeah, it's probably good if Duxu's not getting any sleep. Good for us anyway. Oh. A flare or a firework? A distraction. Oh, what's this? This is like a vision of the outside world. Guys in helmets. Is this part of his nightmare? Something that happened to him in his past?
무슨 생각을 그렇게 하나?
Just a flashback to something.
예전에 다니던 회사에서 파업을 했어요.
So they got beat up during a strike.
회사가 어렵다고 다 나가라잖아요. 10년 넘게 일한 회사인데.
And they just dropped him just like that, and then they get beat up by the police for protesting.
애는 곧 태어나고 돈 들어갈 일은 쌓여 있는데.
Yeah, got fired just as his kid was being born.
회사는 지들이 망쳐놓고 우리 보고 책임지라는 게.
Yeah, so get rid of all the workers. The company goes down, then they throw the workers under the bus.
사람이 죽었지 않아?
So he's already got some traumatic past, and these games are only going to add to his PTSD.
열이 심하잖아요.
Yeah, his age is getting to him, isn't it?
가뜩이나 건질 게 별로 없었어. 그
Oh yeah, depending on the games, they can't salvage stuff. Like if they fall, like in the tug of war, they'll be squashed.
밭이 하나뿐이라 돈도 제대로 못 받았잖아. 여기 들어온 놈 태반이 신체 포기각사 아니면 시한부들이라.
If they're terminally ill, can some of their organs be not be harvested? Right, you know, the organs are bad. Oh, but he's doing this, but no one else is on look.
네 손으로 시체까지 깨끗이 지어놓고선
We can just say it was traumatic, you know.
너
여긴 내 수술실이야!
Yeah, stop the chattering. I saved him a bit there. Yeah, he was ready to fight, wasn't he?
고맙네.
That is great. Emotional building the connection between these two, but I know it's just going to end horribly. The old man is going to have to die eventually.
그냥 준 거 아니야. 내일 물 받으면 갚아.
Yeah, pay her back in the game.
이번엔 상태가 좋으니까 꼭 제값 다 받아와.
He's going to have to go and negotiate.
다음 게임 뭐야?
우리도 아직 몰라.
무슨 소리야?
They don't even know.
니들 뒤봐준 한패가 있을 거 아니야?
They can't ask though, can they? Maybe they're on to the fact that people know what the games are beforehand.
왜?
Yeah, got help Paul. He's really not helping his case, blending in wise, is he? This is a real elaborate, like, tunnel system.
아침 점호 시간까지 돌아가야 돼.
그가 만지들이 알았어!
Yeah, they all have stuff they need to do. If the doctor goes back, he'll just get killed if he doesn't tell Duxu what the next game is.
알아봐.
Will he actually be able to ask about what the game is, or can he just pick it up by finding some props and stuff?
여기 내 오른쪽 주머니에 위층 열쇠가 있어.
개수작 부리지 마요.
Yeah, he was trying something. Ooh. But this other guard isn't gonna stand by and watch it happen. Is he actually gonna win this fight? He should grab one of the guns and take it with him, I don't know. Has that put an end to this whole operation then?
폭탄이야. 폭탄. 이 통로는 비상시에 VIP들을 대피시키려고 만든 거야.
Ah, okay. If anything ever happens.
29번.
Oh, he knows that something's up. Oh, they are following him though. Leave and know his way back. Doesn't know the layout, does he? This could all go wrong if someone who isn't part of this underground operation sees him, you know? Oh, he's walked back into here, the Dalgona room.
누구야 너?
Oh, he's got a gun, yeah.
내가 널 왜 죽이겠어? 그럼 일만 더 커질 텐데.
Yeah. This is way too complicated now.
지금 중요한 건 니들이 이렇게 만든 사람이 누군지야.
Oh, there's so many bodies piling up high here, though.
나한테 줬거든. 그 사람이 내 형이야.
아니야! 여자였어.
Putting his weapon down to show his trust. And he's going to show his face. Wow, yeah. That's definitely how you get your trust, yeah.
가서 그 얼굴부터 씻자고.
Oh, the leader knows. Okay, the leader's on it now as well.
우리가 돌아가면서 그 짓까지 했는데 설마 남자한테 그랬겠냐고.
That just makes it even worse in his eyes.
장방에 있어.
대장?
너도 봤지? 다른 가면 쓰고 있는 사람.
But he can go and see the list and see that his brother has died. Unless his brother won the previous game, but I don't think that's happened.
우리가 한 팀이 되면은
Yeah, shot him anyway.
이곳에서 가장 중요한 걸 망쳐놨어.
What's the most important part?
평등이야. 이 게임 안에선 모두가 평등해.
Yeah,
참가자들 모두가 같은 조건에서 공평하게 경쟁하지.
and that's why this episode's called A Fair World. Inside the game, they're all equal no matter the inequalities outside the game.
그 원칙을 깼어.
Is he just going to let him back into the game? Because now he'll be equal, he won't have the advantage. Oh no, they will shot him. Okay. But now is Jun-ho going to be confronted by him as well? Did they see him on the security cameras? Or is he locked in? Oh, they heard it. They heard the gunshot. He needs to get his mask back on so he can blend back in. Oh, he's right in the leader's room. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity because the leader is out at the moment.
잠수통 개수가 그대로야. 아직 안에 있어. 찾아.
Hopefully the last place I think to look is the leader's office. And he still has that other mask. So if that mask was 29's mask, he still has a different one. Ooh. You can figure out the bullet was from a revolver, not the guns that they use there as well, right? Or can he disguise himself as a VIP? Everything's kind of crumbling down a bit. I found all of the archives. Look at all of this paperwork they have though, like each one of these books a different player or a different game or what? It's been going since 1999. Yeah, so there's been hundreds and hundreds of games that they've done. And like multiple a year, definitely, yeah. But even then, he's got 100 players to search through for each game for each year. He knows the year, but he doesn't know what game of the year and what number his brother was. But there's not security cameras in the VIP lounge.
일어나.
He's too sick to get up. Oh, wet himself in his sleep. Yeah, the age is just getting to him. The list of winners. His brother won. His second name, his brother won. Wow. But that means his brother, just took off with the money and never returned. Oh, okay. Okay, so that was episode 5. Some real interesting revelations, this one. So Jun-ho's brother, Il-ho, actually won his game back in 2015, and I'm assuming he disappeared because he just took the money and ran away from his family, took the money and just, you know, off living somewhere luxurious and just never contacted his family again. So there's good closure for Jun-ho to know that his brother is alive. But of course that must hurt really bad that he just like dropped his entire family, right? Or there was one little part of me thinking, what if he won and they still killed him anyway? Like there's no evidence of winners. It could be the case that you win the game and they just shoot you and kill you, never give you the money, and just they have this money that they can just offer perpetually. They don't have to worry about actually giving away any of the money. I don't think that's really the case, but that is like a possibility here, right? You know, I was really worried that this show could have been predictable just because it's like this game show and you kind of know who's going to win. But this whole plot point, this whole plot thread with Jun-ho has been really interesting as well and kept me on the edge of my seat as well, just as much as the actual games themselves. It's really great having these two parallel running stories, and I'm assuming they will intertwine at some point. there is some connection with Ji-hun there. I imagine Jun-ho, there must be something he gets up to. I'm really hoping he gets out of this alive and isn't caught actually, but that might be like some bittersweet ending if he eventually gets caught. You know, he has his closure now. He doesn't really need to be here anymore. He needs to be here to help shut down the game eventually, but it's going to be hard for him to integrate back in now because they know 29 is corrupt, but he does have this other mask. I don't know where this other mask is. Is the other mask back in his cell room, or is his other mask on him at the moment that he can just put it on and pretend everything was fine? I don't know. And of course at the start our team won the tug of war, which was exactly what I was expecting. That was a great move by Sang-woo, the stepping forward and then pulling them back once they've fallen over. That was really great, and you can see some of the repercussions of that mentally as well on our contestants. Ji-hun, he's at the front of the line, so we see him like looking them in the eyes as they fall, and that must really mentally scar him, alongside the scarring that he already has from this protest from before when he went on strike. So it's interesting to know some of his backstory as well, and how he ended up in the situation that he ended up in. It shows how he was exploited as a worker, and then once he went on a strike, it wasn't successful and they were all just beat up by the police. I think especially when this came out, it would have been very poignant at the time, because this came out during lockdown 2020 when all of the BLM riots were happening, right? So that must have really hit home at the time, seeing this protest, people being beat by police, right? So it's again showing the class divide, showing how the upper class had exploited him. They used him for 10 years, used him for a decade, and then just tossed him away. And then he falls onto hard times because he can't find a job. He's got a kid coming and resorts to gambling, presumably, because we see he has a bit of a gambling problem in episode 1. So you can really see the start of the domino effect that caused him to get to where he is at this point. And then it was a great moment once they had won the game and they came out back into the dormitory area, and then Duk-soo sitting there, his team are sitting there like thinking like, how the hell did you win this? You can see the disgust on their face and a little bit of fear, I think. When Ji-hun had a word with Duk-soo, that was great as well. He planted this seed of doubt that potentially his teammates could turn on him because he's the strongest there. And because of that, it kind of kept peace for the night. Obviously, they still had to keep watch. They didn't know they were safe, but it probably would have been fine if they had all just got a full night's sleep that night, which is good for them morally and mentally, right? And we see the old man, he is starting to struggle, I'm assuming just because of his age, so that's going to be a real problem. I don't know if the guards would just shoot him for not obeying the orders, so because he's not going to stand up, or if Ji-hun can like help him up and just push him along. But even so, if his health is deteriorating like this, will he be able to make it into the next game and like make it through the next round? You know, obviously I don't know what the game next is. That might be difficult for him. In this episode we didn't actually see any gameplay, I guess, so they weren't actually in any of the games, but even in these episodes, which you could consider like down episodes between each game, they are still so interesting. All of the psychological side of the dormitory, worrying about if they're going to be attacked, and then of course all the stuff happening with Jun-ho, that was all really cool. Jun-ho, he's kind of always getting his ass saved at the last second, right? It's like they started questioning like number 29, because they were like, hey, you should have remembered this, and then 111 like spoke up, and then once he had exposed himself and he'd killed 28, this whole operation has been shut down by the leader. So he's kind of got out of these situations quite well, and now he has like the perfect opportunity while the leader is out and about looking for people. He has the perfect opportunity to search these archives and see that his brother has won. And we see he took a look at one of these like costumes with the bunny mask, so he could even take up that persona, and then he doesn't even have to worry about being a guard anymore. That's assuming that the kind of VIPs don't know each other's identities, and I'm assuming not, because they're wearing masks as well. And I was wondering if they would actually spare 111 and bring him back into the game, because he'd be on an even playing field now, but they did actually just shoot him, because I thought maybe they could return him and he doesn't know what the next game is, so they'll be on an even playing field, and then probably he would be killed by Duk-soo for not knowing what the next game is, because that's the whole point of their deal, is that he knows what's next. So now Duk-Soo doesn't have the advantage, which is good as well. And it seemed like the leader was actually onto them a bit, because he wasn't telling people what the next game was. They might have seen that Duk-Soo, like his team, he chose an all-guy team. So they might have seen that and become suspicious that there was someone leaking the info to the contestants, and that's why they weren't telling them the info, you know. And we did get the name for 212, it's Minyo. So I really like her as a character. She's like fun to watch, but you can tell she kind of pokes and pushes the right buttons to get on people's nerves in the game, doesn't she? And that can work to her advantage, but that can also work against her. She's quite eccentric and out there, but sometimes she does say the wrong thing. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.